Welcome to episode 188.
You're listening to Escaping the REI Newbie Zone podcast, where you'll learn the underground, closely guarded secrets that will revolutionize your real estate business. This podcast is all about helping you exit the real estate newbie zone and enter financial freedom, building up your real estate throne. This is Escaping the REI Newbie Zone podcast. And now your host, real estate investor, entrepreneur, world traveler, and nationwide mentor, Chris Bruce.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Escaping the REI Newbie Zone. I'm your host, Chris Bruce. I want to say thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. We have a lot going on this week. I'm actually going to be traveling for a conference in Las Vegas. So if any of our listeners that are in the Las Vegas, Nevada area, I'm going to be there this upcoming week for a conference, a marketing conference. And if you're in the area, man, we should reach out to me on social media so we can connect because I'm going to be in that area for the week. Also, I got a great interview that's going to be dropping this week. Man, I had such an incredible time laughing and really just, talking with a friend of mine who was going to come on the podcast Friday. I'm going to go ahead and debut the episode. And I'm telling you, as much nuggets and gems he dropped on that episode, you are going to absolutely love it. So make sure you tune in this week for Friday's episode that will be dropping soon. Now, what I want to talk about today is how do you view life? All right. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of times that most people, you end up viewing life one or two ways. Okay. And that's either thinking that the cup is half full or half empty. All right. And so I want to ask you, for you listening right now to this episode, and no judgment here. What do you think life is like? What do you view life as? Do you think that the cup is half full or do you think that the cup is half empty? Now, I remember back when I first got started as a entrepreneur, quote unquote, and I was learning things about, business, obviously, how to make money, just marketing strategies, sales tactics. And I was really trying to focus heavy on that. And I remember making mistakes in the business and, really just complaining and, why is this work for this person, but it's not working for me? I don't understand it. What am I doing wrong? Why am I having all this things happen to me? Why me? Just really just catching the fit, right? And I remember this guy asked me a question and he says, Chris, how do you view life? Do you view, if I were to show you this cup, right? You see the cup right now and I'm drinking out of it, obviously, but is it half full or is it half empty? And I quickly was like, well, of course, man, you drank half of it. It's half empty. No, right? It's already, you drank half of it, so it's half empty. I mean, that's just how it is. And I didn't realize what he was trying to show me was my thought process, was that I was looking at what was gone instead of looking at what was there or was still there. Right? What you could work off of. Okay? And that's pretty much an analogy of life. A lot of times, things happen, right? We look at our situations and the things that we have to go through and what our condition or circumstance could be at this particular time in our life. And we are looking at it like, oh man, why me? Why do I have to go through this struggle? Why do I have to go through this trials or tribulation? Instead of looking at life at, hey, you know what? There's a reason for me going through this trial or tribulation. There's a reason this circumstance happen right now. It's actually here to teach me. So I should actually see what can I do to leverage this in learning so that way I don't make the same mistake or I don't continue living through this, right? And it's all about looking at it half full. So back then, I didn't realize that I was thinking of life more in a negative state. And, if you ask most people, hey, are you a negative or positive person? Who's going to really admit that they're negative? No one, right? No one's going to admit that they're negative, okay? But what happens a lot of times is it's all about the information that you're intaking. Excuse me. Like a lot of times you might not plan out to be negative, but if you have a lot of negative things you're hearing, this is the reason why I stopped watching the news, because there was just so much negative stuff on the news. I mean, just think about it. How many times do they show this particular person, just rescued this person out of a fire, or this person, just helped the old lady walk across the street? They're not promoting that. That's not what gets them high ratings. No one watches the news to hear about the positivity that's going on in their local neighborhood, right? Their local city. People watch the news for danger, to hear about things that have happened bad, right? That person just killed somebody. This person just ran over this person. This person tried to rob this person. And so you have all these negative things that are going into your brain, and you're trying to live a positive life. You have a positive mindset, but it's not going to happen, right? Because you're a positive, right? A positive times a negative. Okay, so you're going to have an issue if you are trying to be positive, right? And you have all of this stuff that is going into your brain that is negative. All right, the news, some things maybe about people arguing on social media, whatever. Okay? That is what's going to end up having you think that the world or your life, if you look at it, the glass is half empty. Okay? And that might be the reason why you're not successful today, or you're not getting the results that you would like to get in your life right now or in your business because of that thought process. So how can you start to change that? What things can you do to wire yourself to think differently, to start looking at the glass half full? Well, the number one thing that you can do today is gratitude. Okay? Think about it right now. No matter what the circumstances, I don't care if you're down to your last $2.29 in your bank account. You listen to this podcast right now, so therefore you're living, you're breathing. Someone today did not have that same opportunity. They're not breathing. They're not living. Unfortunately, they took their last breath, and they don't have the opportunity that you have to listen to this podcast and be breathing. So you can start right there every single day. Thank the universe, thank God. Hey, I am breathing. I am alive, right? Obviously, I have some type of device or access to some type of device to be able to get this free information from this podcast. Once again, you have something to be grateful for. You have a loving family, husband, wife, kids, friends. Think about all the things that you do have, no matter what you're going through. Okay? Listen, we all go through trials and tribulations. Okay? I could tell you hundreds of stories of bad stuff that has happened to me that I've had to overcome. All right? But I overcame it. Okay? A lot of things that you're worried about right now, it's so funny because in the next 6 months to a year, you won't even freaking think about what's going on right now, because it'll totally be gone. And we got to stop giving too much energy and time to things that 10 months down the line, sometimes even 10 minutes down the line, you won't even be thinking about. Okay? And that's how you're going to start looking at the glass half full. Because through anything, through whatever, through any circumstance, through any condition, through any trial or tribulation, there's always going to be opportunity. It's just like when the real estate market crashed. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, the real estate market crashed. No one's going to be selling houses anymore. No one's going to be buying houses anymore. Oh, it's the worst time to be in real estate. No, that's not true. It's actually the best time, because through chaos and all of that stuff that happened was opportunity. And the people that saw that are the same people that are rich today. Right? The same people that saw the opportunity that, hey, this is an opportunity for me to actually go out and buy these properties for low pennies on the dollar that I can start holding, and then eventually I can sell off when the market is back good. Right? So there's always opportunity, but it's all about how you look at life. All right? Do you drown in sorrow of what's going on? You got to change that. All right? And start to think about also, what do you have going into your big, I call your brain, it's like a computer system. All right? It's files in there. All right? So what is going into that mind? All right? Do you have people in your life that are continuously telling you that this real estate stuff is not going to work out for you? Entrepreneurship is not for you. Stop giving up, thinking about your dream. Give it up and continue on with what you're doing. All right. Do you have other negative, energy or voices in your head from other people? You need to stop hanging with them as much as you do. All right. Now, they're family. You can't completely get rid of them, maybe, but start limiting yourself around them. Start blocking that stuff out so it doesn't come into your brain and mess you up. All right. Are you watching the news? Are you, looking at the drama that's on social media and you entertaining into it? Start to limit that. All right. It's cool. It's fun. Everybody laughs, whatever. But you got to understand what that's doing for your psyche. All right. What's that doing to not help you get to where you want to be? Okay. That's how you can start to shift the mindset and start seeing that, listen, the glass is half full. It's half full. And when you think like that, I promise you that life will start to get a lot easier, smoother, and the things that you want will start to happen for you right in front of your eyes. Just being positive, thinking in a very different light, things will start happening, and it'll almost be so shocking that you'll want to pinch yourself because you'll think that you're living in a dream. Speaking from experience, ladies and gentlemen, I promise to you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this short episode. Again, we got a great interview. We're going to be dropping this Friday. Once again, if you're in the Las Vegas area this week, make sure you reach out to me on social media at Detroit Mogul. I will be in the area for a marketing conference. Also, I heard it's fight weekend, so I might attend a party or two while I'm out there. But reach out to me on social media at Detroit Mogul. All right. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. We are on all platforms: Google Play, iTunes, of course, Stitcher. Make sure you go and subscribe to the podcast. Also, please leave us an honest review. All right. This helps us push out to the rankings as you do that. So that way this message, this podcast can get out to more and more people that you think that would actually benefit from this. All right. Appreciate you tuning in this week. And you guys, you know my quote: don't live to dream, live your dream. I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Escaping the REI Newbie Zone podcast at www.escapethenewbiezone.com.